If there's one thing I love in this world, it's Jojo Bird. Okay. Hey guys, another day, another hay, another lime, another time to check that one Tumblr that tells me Evento Arreo anime has been confirmed. Huh. It's already 433 days since part 4 ended? Ah, it barely feels like a day over 300. Am I right, JoJo fanbase? You know, I'm just a regular Joe bro. I do anything any normal person does. I wake up, make some breakfast, watch some TV, and spend the rest of my day refreshing the JoJo subreddit for any news on part 5 anime. You know, I contribute to society like any normal, functional human being would. So, David Productions, I'm not asking for much here. I don't want a release date, or a PV, or help, I don't even want a screenshot, okay? All I want is some form of confirmation that you're working on this shit. I mean, god damn! What the fuck is this prepubescent Shadowcon soccer bullshit you're making next season? And is that an anime about anthropomorphic blood cells? Come on, David Production. Get your shit together. Oh, I get it. You guys are going to finish up part 4 with these Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe OVAs at a pace of 1 per year. So in 10 years, when part 8 is in the midst of its 32-part finale, you're going to start working on part 5. Oh, I got you. Well, while we're waiting for part 5, why don't we start talking about part 5, baby? Woo! The manga, guys. The manga. Aww. So here, in this classic Ziad show review, I'm going to be talking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5, Vento Areo. And I'll be honest, guys, I wasn't going to read the manga, because, you know, only nerds read. I expected the anime to be here by now. But since it's been this many agonizing days since part 4 ended, I decided to go ahead, bite the bullet, or should I say bites the dust, and read part 5. And for those anime-only viewers on the fence about reading the manga, I'd just say do it already. With the new translations done by JoJo's Colored Adventure, the manga feels like an official release that has gloriously come down as a gift from the heavens for us undeserving mortals. Seriously, guys, thank you so fucking much. But anyway, on to the manga itself. Part 5 follows our main JoJo, Giorno Giovanna, the son of Dio, as he joins up with a group of rebellious mafiosos as they try to take down the leader of their mafia organization, Passione. And there's 2 things of note I would like to bring up about the previous statement. 1, making Gio the name of your JoJo for part 5 is an idea you could only come up with if you were so high that you thought you were in Italy. Thank you, Araki. And 2, if you were thinking the part about Giorno being Dio's son was a spoiler, you can pretty much forget about it because I'm pretty sure Araki forgot about it by the end of the part. Believe me when I say that it's pretty much only mentioned at the beginning of the part and is seldom brought up ever. To a slightly upsetting degree. There's a character later on, who I dare not speak his name for fear of being arrested by the spoiler police, that I was positive would have something to say about Giorno's heritage. But nope, not a single mention about it whatsoever. Not even a panel where he's like, hey, did you know that your father was an immortal vampire dickhead that tried to take over the world? No, I did not. I am Giorno Giovanna, yes? God, I hope I don't get arrested by the real police. Now, the Passion Boys are a group of Drobros that are only matched in quality, as far as I know, by the Stardust Crusaders. This ragtag group of misfits has so much personality that it almost makes up for Giorno's lack thereof. Ooh, kill him! The 2 personal highlights for me have to be the leader of the group, Bruno Busciolati, and the superstitious hitman, Mista, a man so badass he can stand in a hail of bullets while calmly loading his gun and not get hit once. I don't know how you can beat that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. Which is why I proudly present him with the prestigious award of Joe Bro of the Arc. Please, Round of applause for Mr., ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Mr.
Go, Mr. Whoa, Mr. I was a big fan of Fugo. Kill that man. Now, in terms of fights, Part 5 has a lot of them. To the point where I sometimes forget what the fight was even leading up to. This part may have the most disjointed story structure of any JoJo's thus far. Which is saying something considering Part 3 was the longest road trip ever, and Part 4 was basically half slice of life and half murder mystery. What I'm saying is that Part 5 uses the formula of stand users of the week followed by a plot progression. Pretty much the same structure as any other part. However, the fights in this feel like they last a lot longer than any of the other parts. An average stand encounter ranges anywhere from 6 to 10 chapters, with the longest one being a 14-chapter climactic battle that happens right before the final encounter. While this may sound like these battles are boring and drawn out, it's actually far from it. This arc may have the best battles in all of JoJo's, with fights such as White Album, the Notorious B.I.G., and the Grateful Dead being some of my personal highlights. What I'm trying to get at here is that Araki's style of writing has shifted from having more fights happen over a shorter period of time to having less fights that last longer, with more intricate interplay between the characters' abilities. If we compare the amount of enemy stands in Part 3, then you can see that Stardust Crusader had about 7 more encounters than Part 5, even though they're roughly the same length. There are also a lot more fights with more than 2 stand users, and even battles when one of the members of Passion gets incapacitated and the other member has to switch out with them mid-encounter. Basically, while all the fights have drastically gotten longer, they've also all increased in quality, so I think that this is overall a good thing. However, the one criticism I will give to these encounters is that they happen so often and in such quick succession that you barely have any time to breathe. I mean, come on, I just went to battle, my wife died in my hands, my son got kidnapped by barbarians, and the enemy stand deleted my Persona 5 staves. I need to breathe, I need some time to relax, Nope! Next stand! There's also the fact that some battles can be kinda hard to follow, especially in the case of King Crimson, who, thanks to new translations, had an ability which was a lot easier to understand, but it still made no fucking sense.
He works. He just works.
He works. He really works.
He works. He really, really works.
Knowledge is the path to greatness. If you'd like to be smart as a baby dolphin, call now.
I feel like this part of JoJo's would benefit the most from an anime adaptation because of that, and any confusion around the powers or the fights would be cleared up because of it. The last thing I want to touch on is the main villain of the arc and the final encounter, which I'm going to try to be as vague as possible with it as to not spoil anything. But if you don't want to know anything about it when you go in, then you better get your ass out of here and come back when you read this shit. Okay? Good. So the main villain of this part isn't the best JoJo's villain by any stretch. If I had to rank him, I'd put him right above the Pillarmen, but right below Dio, with Kira still sitting firmly at number 1. He's not bad by any stretch, and his other half is one of my favorite characters in the entire part. But his fear of being discovered and his tendency to send enemies to our heroes rather than fighting them for himself kind of makes him like a Dio light in a sense. And the final encounter with him is a fucking joke. Imagine if at the end of Part 4, once Josuke figured out Kira's true identity, he punched him in the face once and Kira just died. And then the arc concluded with the Pearl Jam encounter. That's basically the ending of Part 5. But overall, Part 5 is one of the best parts of JoJo's thus far, and ranks as second in my personal favorite JoJo parts. It has some of the best battles, the best main cast, but a lot of untapped potential that I hope Araki capitalizes on in later parts. I'll be interested to see how Part 5 stacks up as I dwell on it in my mind, as of the time of this writing, I just finished the manga last night. And if this video didn't convince you to read the manga yourself, then I hope you enjoy watching Part 5 with your grandkids. I'll be reading the rest of the manga in the meantime. Ooh, sick burn. Oh, and if you like this video, then let me know in the comments, and if you want another one for the other parts, I want to be reading the manga anyway, you know, just let me know, just tell me. The Ziad guy from the Ziad show of Ziad, amazingness. Yeah, that's the one. So yeah, have a wonderful day. Closing thoughts, fucking, god damn it, Giorno.